tua ma le au nanga mo tau sa mo service station nei tona i matu. Ma tau te utuina lo ta vale ma le tele unisi o matu au nanga i se ese. Ai le ngata foi le ma tau te seke ina fo i lo ta vale. Siapa lah yang voice wow mau lau tapan. Afai foi vai pa olosa. Awala te pon ma tu te siapa lah yang foi e mau lau tapan. Molo no posila fia. Mua tape lau ta vale pe out. Mua tape lau telefoni il time out ina lau tapan. Male vaenga mulu. Mana tua fo e matua I whaasaina lo tau mawhtapa ai no fuanga whapeni. Ota Samoa, ore maota mo Samoa. Mato te fia e au auna pia mo oi Samoa. Mawhtaile fia mai, we'll see you again. God bless.
Nila wana whailau whaakau. Ili tupele na mai ili talo wha-voucher. Nila wana whaakau maa mea te mga oi. Ili voucher. Tai fu iso whanau li lapsi mai o le talo wha-voucher o mawai whaakau mane ai o leia so. Ia no whaat.
Ta lofa lava everyone. Ma lole soifu malangi mama. And a warm Pacific greetings to all of our beautiful viewers who've just tuned into Blue Table Talanoa here on Blue TV. How's your day going, beautiful?
It's been fantastic. Second day of the week and it's already a great week. So hopefully whatever you're doing, wherever you may be, here in New Zealand or in Samoa, Australia or the United States or wherever else you may be in the world, we hope that you're having a beautiful day as well.
And a massive shout out to all of our sponsors. Yes. Look, without our sponsors, you know, helping us build this platform for our Pasifika community, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be here. So Pacific Easy, you know, Lea Whiunga ia whai malo, Alan Stowers, a massive thank you to yourself and to the awesome team there at Pacific Easy. And we cannot forget the beautiful whārute of Pacific 40, who is also helping our economy and our ainga over in Samoa, because those vouchers have been pretty popular and it's actually really affordable.
And it's just so easy to purchase.
Yeah, it is. And you know what? I love getting these brownie points over to Samoa because I tell you, keep watching the show because we're going to soon show you a little bit, you know, just a step-by-step on how to use the vouchers.
Yes.
Let's not forget Maoto Samoa, and of course Se Oriana, Seki Works, and the Pacific Business Hub, the beautiful Laura, who continues to support us 100%. But today is quite interesting, right?
Yes. So today we have a very special lady Do you want to introduce her? I'll let you
Yeah.
introduce her.
We do. We all have these questions. Let's be honest. We do have some legal battles and some legal scars that we need those questions answered. And it's not easy.
No.
You know, I know that's from time to time, you know, you get into that little dispute and you're like wondering, what do I do? What do I do at 1 o'clock in the morning when I find out, oh my gosh, I just heard that, you know, fella's gone and taken the kids. You know, what do you do? What do you do when your heart and soul, you know, have been taken from you there at the airport and you're like stuck going, oh my gosh, what do you do? Sal, the owner of Tima Loa Loa, is here today with the team to answer those questions. Because I wouldn't know what to do.
No.
At 1 o'clock in the morning, I'll panic. I'll be panicking and be like, you know, I think first of all, I'll be quite annoyed.
Yeah.
And those words, the colourful, vibrant words that I would
Yeah.
use, you know, like, where the heck, bring my babies home.
Yeah,
But what do you do?
exactly.
Do you know what to do? What are the questions that you want to ask when it comes to any dispute? Comment them below, because joining us, we're going to have Sal in the building soon to answer all the questions. And look, you know, from time to time, Oranga Tamariki have stepped in, and we know that there's been, you know, they've been highlighted there in the news as well. So, you know, I've got some questions. You know, how do you tell, or, you know, prevent these little scenarios from actually happening? Because, man, I don't know what I'll do if fella took my kids. I don't know what I'll do. You know, I will probably jump on that. I don't know.
Yeah, hopefully it is an experience or something you'll never have to experience.
Yeah, and I don't want to experience, but it does happen.
Yeah.
It does. Look, we're not saying that, you know, we want this to happen to your family, no, but we want you to know that there is help out there. And for our Pasifika family who are kind of like, oh, you know, it's something that we don't actually talk about a lot. But Sal will be able to go through, give you some advice, because I wouldn't be able to give you some advice. We've got some questions that we want to ask Sal.
Yes, we do. And Sal is a family lawyer.
Yeah.
She's not a criminal lawyer, so if you want to ask how to get away with certain criminal acts, wrong lawyer to be asking.
Yeah, not on today's show, but we do have, I think we should talk a little bit about it.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't want to give you advice on how to get away with.
No. But we will be heading into a break. And before we do, we'll just show you how to buy a Talofa voucher,
Yeah,
because it
let's see
is
that.
super easy. You know, it's what, 6 months away from Christmas now.
Yeah. Well, do you know what the other thing is that I miss though? Is I miss traveling.
Yes.
I do.
I miss hearing the ding
Yeah.
of the airplane.
I miss that.
Yes.
I miss traveling. I miss going overseas. You know, I miss heading over to the airport and then, you know, Air New Zealand's like, passenger 497 flight to Melbourne. You know, I miss that. I miss that. So, you know what? If you're a crew member out there for Air New Zealand, man, give us a shout out, because really, like, you must be like sitting there going, oh my goodness, you know, when are the borders going to open? But that's what I miss. I really do miss.
Should we
this
show them a
flight.
little video? Because I'm sure we have a video ready to kind of just show you, get you into the groove again of flying, because the borders are closed at the moment, but you know,
I miss it.
no harm in wishful thinking.
Yeah, let's go back. Let's have a throwback, because I'm really missing the travel.
Let's
so
watch this video
yeah.
of just
And
getting on a plane, flying overseas,
that freedom
with
right?
Air New Zealand
Those-
and the All Blacks, because they did such a great. They played such a great game in the weekend. So why don't we just watch this video?
Yeah, let's.
Final boarding call.
Where is this?
So we have an unaccompanied minor flying with us today. And Air New Zealand always takes care of their precious cargo.
All right, trainees, this is Arabella. It's her first time flying alone, so she's a little nervous.
Don't worry, we've got this. This way, let's go, Arabella. And again, down that way, down that way. Big week for Arabella. What's the rush? Plane's not leaving for another 45.
My favourite All Black player is Caleb and Patrick.
Yeah, they're all right.
And you, Jai.
Oh, nice.
You gotta hand it to them. The new trainees did a great job today.
Honestly, I do. I
really
miss it.
flying.
I miss it so
like
much.
flying.
But saying that, aren't we lucky here in New Zealand that Jacinda Ardern has put in place, those restrictions so that we're safe. I mean, as much as I would love to fly over to Samoa right now and soak up that sun on the beach,
Oh, God, yes.
sipping on some pina colada, enjoying the sun, and then having a massage on the beach, just really
You're
enjoying
painting
that.
a very beautiful picture right now. And, oh, God, I really want to go.
Like just sitting on the beach and just, can you imagine what you'll be doing right now? I would be probably at Lalomanu and I will be enjoying it. I can just see it in my bikini. And just really enjoying that sun. Obviously with the ear lava wrapped around me and kind of just,
I feel like you're just living somewhere else right now.
living the dream. Did you know that you can also treat our family and friends in Samoa who want to take a trip out to the beach and enjoy it? Because you know what? The borders are closed. What else do you do? Send the treat over to Samoa. Right here, we're going to show you exactly how easy it is to send that love over to Samoa so that they can enjoy that luxury treat that we miss here in New Zealand. How to buy a talofa voucher.
And it's super, super easy, guys. Just grab your phone or your iPad and then just click on the internet icon. Once it opens up, just enter www.pacific40.co.com, sorry.
It's so easy. Click either on talofa voucher or you've got that second option there. Seriously, send some love overseas.
Yes, and you should now see the home page. So then you scroll up and down to select the service that you want or the service that you think your friend or family member might want.
And like I mentioned earlier, you don't always have to send a petrol voucher. You can actually treat your family to something really luxury in Samoa just by using the talofa voucher.
So then you select from the list of service stations that is close to your family or friend, or maybe you want to treat them to some shopping. That would be also very cool.
Select the amount, it's that easy, 30 tala. That's enough. However, I'm pretty sure you can spend more than $50 on your loved ones in Samoa.
And once you have selected your desired amount, this will be added to your cart. And if you are feeling generous, you can add in a $50 or a $100 tala voucher, and I'm sure your family members will really, really like you.
Don't forget to click checkout. But did you know you can also pay off a few bills over in Samoa as well? It doesn't have to, it's all there, it's simple. Honestly, I don't know about you, but this is pretty user-friendly. Once you've selected everything that you need to, if you've already done this before, the details will already come up on your phone, so there's no need to type everything out again. Look at that, it's really easy. What do you reckon?
Oh, too easy.
I think I'm going to send another voucher today.
Well, you're going to be a very popular girl for Christmas this year.
Points.
And then you must complete the form and enter in the correct phone number of the person that will receive the voucher in Samoa. Now make sure, guys, that you do give the correct phone number because they will be receiving a confirmation text.
And guess what, guys? That's pretty much it. It's that easy. Enter your details, but like I said before, if you've done the steps previously, then you know what? don't even worry, don't even sweat it. You can do this while you're catching up with your friends, out and about, out at the nightclub, out, you know, shopping. Someone in Samoa, can you quickly? It's a yes, of course you can. Yes. It's that easy. I think I'll be doing it. I think I've topped up a few people from just here at work.
Oh,
while
easy.
we were on the show, actually.
Oh, very easy. See you guys.
That's it. It's that easy. Yeah. But look, guys, you already know the services for Pacific 40 not only assists and helps our ainga in Samoa, it actually injects money back into the economy as well, and it helps the small businesses in remote areas. So I think that's pretty awesome. I think what the team here at Pacific 40 and also Pacific Easy have done have made it easy for us here in New Zealand and around the world to help our families there overseas.
Yes. Now we are going to head into a short break, and while we're on a break, you know, why don't head over to www.pacific40.com and buy a family member or a friend a Talofa voucher. And right after the break, we are going to have the lovely Sal, family lawyer, and we're going to get started on this very interesting questions, and I'm sure all of you guys are wondering about too.
Please send your questions through. If you're a bit shy, then I don't know, text them through. But
send it through to us in a DM.
Yeah, send the DMs through. Right after this, we've got Sal dispute. Let's go.
Nila wana whailau whaakau. I le tupele na mai le talofa voucher. Nila wana whaakau ma me te mga oai. I le voucher. Time for so far now, we love to my only talofa voucher mo wai whaakau mane ai o lia so. Ia no fat.
Hold up, pose, yeah, pose, yeah, pose. I am photo shoot, pose. I am pose. It's a photo shoot. Dope boy, I'm a Polaroid. Photos make me paranoid. Living up her camera phone.
Welcome to the Pacific Business Hub.
Tua ma le au nanga mo tau sa mo service station nei tona i mata. Ma tau te utuina lo ta vale, ma le tele o nisi o mata au nanga i se ese. ta foi le ma to te se ke ina fo ilo ta vale ma to te sapala ya foi suau mo lo ta vale a fai foi vai pa olo sa a wala te poli ma to te sapala ya foi e mo lo ta vale Molo no posila fia. Mua ta pela ta vale pe out. Lua ta pela o telefone ni tai me utu ina ilo ta vale. Male vaenga mulu. Mana tua fo. E matua I fa sa ina lo ta mafta pa ai no fuanga fa pe. Otta Samoa. Ole motta mo Samoa. Ma do te fia e au na pe mo o Samoa. Maftaila fia mai. We'll see you again. God bless.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Sala Falava, and we hope you are all well. Today we do have a very, very special guest, and if you're wondering, what is it?
We did mention before, so if you just tuned in, we have the lovely Sal. She is from Timaloa Law, and she's sitting with us right here, and she is a family lawyer. And unfortunately, you have to deal with very difficult cases, but fortunately our community have access to your talents and your knowledge to, you know, guide them through these difficult processes. But tell us a little bit about yourself and what it's kind of like being a family lawyer, because it's very different to being a criminal lawyer. And
Yeah. So the crux of it, family law relates to family matters, obviously. So I deal with a lot of children when parents separate and they can't find a resolution on the care of children. So not everybody accesses family court, right? Yeah. It's only those parents who can't come to an agreement about their children.
Yeah.
Then I also deal with issues of domestic violence, where I file for urgent protection orders for women, or even for spouses, the fathers, who are defending the protection order. So I do both.
Gotcha.
And I also do oranga tamariki cases. That's when children are uplifted from their parents because there's some really care and protection concerns. So yeah, very different from criminal. Criminal is really about being prosecuted by the state, the police, versus the offender or the defendant, where we're not about accused, it's about applicant and respondent.
The first thing that comes to my mind is, you know, obviously your line of work isn't easy emotionally because you are dealing with tough cases. How do you kind of like, I don't know how to explain this, but how do you kind of take that suit off of being a family lawyer when you go home and you're not carrying this emotional burden with you? How do you kind of change from being Sal the family lawyer to Sal, you know, not the family lawyer?
Yeah, that's a really good question. That's a really good question for Christy Morgan, who's a dancer at night. Christy, if you're listening, maybe Christy Morgan. So it's really about learning how to leave things at the door. I have learned over the years not to take things home. It's really important that you don't take all the burden home.
How do you do that? Like, is there something that you tell yourself?
I honestly believe it's my faith.
Yeah.
I honestly believe that God had put me in this position and become this lawyer to help our community, but He's also given me the skills to manage, if I can put it that way. And I think everybody who's a professional has to learn how to manage, balance family life, professional life. You know, I would say I play sports, but I don't. I'm not a dancer. But what I do outside work is just spend a lot of time with family. Yeah.
Family, I feel like, is very key, and we've had other very successful business owners, you know, on the Blue Table podcast, and they have all mentioned that family is a very rock solid foundation.
Yeah, I think it's a balance.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm pretty sure you guys have to enjoy the balance. You can't be, you know.
9 to 5, so
yeah, you know,
24 hours.
Yeah.
We don't want to really talk about that because I'm sure my husband's like, yeah, well, give us some advice because I think Bear needs to get some tips off Sal as well. But look, the questions are, you know, around the family. Family is so important. I don't even know. I don't even have the words to express how important family in Ainga is to our Pasifika community, but also to just anyone. Number one, like, you know, let's be honest, if I was to find out that my husband decided to, you know, up and leave, you know, without my knowledge and take my 3 beautiful girls, I do not know how I would handle that. What is your advice around that? Like, can you give us, like, what do you do? Like, you know, like you were giving us advice earlier on as well, but what do you do at 1 o'clock in the morning? Like, what? It's like, what? I'm already emotional. Take us through the steps, please, Sal.
So usually with families who have children, for an example, like your scenario, and you've separated and you've had the primary care of the girls and he was having weekends, say that's a scenario, and you've been separated for 6 months. I'm just creating the narrative. Yeah. And then all of a sudden he has them for the weekend and he says, oh, I've heard that you did this to our little girl and I'm not returning them. You know, what do you do? So those are the type of calls that we get as family lawyers. And so what we usually do is that we have to meet with them. What we want to establish who is the primary caregiver. So there is always a solution. So I would, in that situation, and if you were the primary caregiver, apply to the family court for an urgent warrant to enforce and again apply for a parenting order, which is the current term for custody. So we don't use the term custody anymore. It's called a parenting order. And I will apply for an urgent warrant for you.
Interesting.
So that the police or the social worker, and we apply that to the family court, the judge will look at the application without having to have served the father, because we're saying we want to return to the status quo. Status quo is what is the original care arrangement. And then you would get the parenting order, you would get the warrant, and we just serve it on to the police to execute it. So there's always a solution in the family court in ways, and it's really, really stressful. But family lawyers have learned to, you know, just trying to calm our clients. It's about managing them. It's about trying to release the stress on them, and we take it on board.
What if 1 o'clock in the morning, like where do you seek for help at 1 o'clock? Let's say, for example, I just found out that the kids are boarding on a flight at 1 a.m. in the morning, and all of a sudden I see a status go up on Facebook, whatever, because I'm a Facebook fanatic, and I'm like, oh my gosh, how quickly can you help somebody at that time, that hour of the morning? Can you help? Or can somebody help? Sorry.
So the first thing usually people do is access information. I think the first thing people look for is on the internet. That's probably what everybody does now. They want information, they look on the internet. The Ministry of Justice is a really helpful website on how to ascertain information about family court process and procedures. What they would suggest is that there is what we call a temporary border alert. And it's an actual form on the Ministry of Justice. The applicant or the person who's the parent who's remaining, who hasn't been given the consent for the travel, can apply for an urgent border alert. But then they also need to see a lawyer to file the formal application, which is called a order without notice, and a without notice order to prevent removal of children out of New Zealand. So, you know, in summary, there's always a solution. You know, we're always trying to find solution. And I've had cases and it is devastating, where the children are excited because they know about it.
Yeah.
In these scenarios where the dad hasn't been much in contact with them, and the mother's made these plans to board to go to, say, Samoa or America, and then the father hears about it, puts an order, stops it, just as they go through the gates. They get stopped. It's really quite devastating for the children, especially if they are aware that they're going to travel. So it's sometimes it's good if you can avoid that, you know, give warning to them, and then, you know, that's probably a little bit more easier than trying to do it at the airport. But obviously, you know, when it's in the weekend, there's nothing opened, that may be the only solution to stop them from travelling.
Does this scenario happen a lot in your experience?
I think it happens, especially when people decide they want to, the common country they say they want to go to is Australia, start a new life. You know, he may not have contact with, or she may not have contact with the children or the child as often, you know. But, you know, does that mean that the parent who has the primary care makes the sole decision in guardianship? And the short answer is no. So that, you know, you do still need, as an obligation, as a guardian, to consult the other guardian.
And that's really tough. And what sort of other scenarios you kind of experience in your field?
So a lot of the urgent stuff that we find as family lawyers, I attend to some woman at the Women's Refuge who's seeking some sort of protection, you know, in fear of whatever they've been through, of domestic violence. Now, this domestic violence doesn't necessarily is about physical contact, can be psychological abuse, you know, intimidation, and, you know, if you see one thing in isolation, but if you put everything into a picture, you can see that it's in fear of domestic violence, you know. So we apply for urgent protection orders and so forth for women and keep them safe, but we also have to make sure that they've got social services helping them, because, you know, you're not the social worker. You know, you're the lawyer doing the legal stuff. It's really important that we know how to separate the two roles, but also refer them to an agency that can help them with those social services, like get them into housing, get them to do programs that helps them to build them up, and so forth.
As a Samoan lawyer, like, we'll be honest, you know, a lot of us Samoans, you know, or just the Pacific, you have a better understanding on the culture side, and how does that play in when it comes to, you know, something like the mum has taken, or how does that ever come into play, the culture side of, like, you know, like using that, we'll be honest, like with the Samoan, I know that a lot of the time the man is the head of the family, you know, the whole biblical, you know, does it ever come into play, and how do you handle that?
Yeah, so, you know, a good example for that is the discipline, the physical discipline. So there is a law that we are not allowed to hit our children. But, you know, in our culture, you know, physical discipline could be, you know, I'm not going to say it online, but, you know, the Sasso Dilema. But, you know, our language, it's really important that our language can actually communicate to them so much better. Because, you know, I've had to give legal education about it to our Samoan community, and they've asked questions, how does the New Zealand law trump the Bible, where the Bible says, you know, and then I say, well, that's the law of the land that we have to abide to, and if you were in Samoa, if that's not, you know, if it's not illegal, but it's illegal here. Do you know what I mean? So it's about educating, but I believe the bridge of information to our community is our language. You know, don't you think, you know, speaking Samoan to our people connects with them a lot better than, you know, having to say it in English. You know.
Definitely, this conversation is getting really interesting, but we are going to head into a very quick break, and then afterwards we're going to be asking
Some
the lovely Zoe even more interesting questions.
I know, and look, we're just using my family as a scenario, just in case you're like, what's going on?
Do you need counselling after this?
I do need a little bit of counselling. So straight after the break, we'll be asking some more questions, solutions, prevention, you name it. If you have any questions, please comment them below. You know, even if you know somebody that might need some help or some advice, send them through, because you never know. Sal will be able to answer all your questions.
I'll try.
I'll try.
Tau tua ma le au nanga le mo tau sa mo service station nei tona i matu. Ma tau tau tuina lo ta vale ma le tele o nisi o matu au nanga ese ese. Ai le ngata foi le ma tau te sia ke ina fo i lo ta vale. Siapa lah yang voice wow mau lau tapan. Afai foi vai pa olosa. Awala te poli ma tu te siapa lah yang foi mau lau tapan. Molo no posila mua tape lau ta vale pe out. Lua tape lau telefoni il time out ina lau ta vale. Male vaenga mulu. Mana tua fo e matua I whaasaina lo tau maftapa ai no fuanga whapengi. Ota Samoa, ole ma ota mo Samoa. Ma do te fia e au na pe mo o Samoa. Maftaile fia mai. We'll see you again. God bless.
Nila wana whailau whaatau. I le tupele na mai le talo voucher. Nila wana whaakau me te mga oi. I le voucher. Tai fu se whanau le la mai o le talo voucher o mawai whaatau mene ai o le yaso. Ia no whaat.
Talofa lover guys, and welcome back on the show today. We have the wonderful Sal from Timaloa Law, and shout out to Christy Morgan. Yes, totally agree.
Yes,
Sal
Christy
is
Morgan.
the family lawyer of the year, guys, and she's right here on Blue Table Podcast. Now, we were talking about some heavy scenarios, you know, about separation and when the separation isn't amicable. So Sal is going to give us a happy ending to a happy scenario. Because you know, it's not all negative. There are some happy scenarios.
Yeah. So, you know, for us family lawyers, that the best solution is when we know that the family have settled.
Yeah.
You know, they've come to an agreement. So not all our cases go to an actual hearing. We try every way of trying to find some sort of resolution. We try to encourage parents and parties to come to an agreement and make decisions for themselves, because who knows better than these children than themselves?
Yeah.
You know, we don't want that decision to be given to a judge who only knows what's read in the paper and the evidence, you know. But the judge also encourages parties to make their own. So those are what I find is when parties and families come to an agreement and resolution, we sign it up, we get everybody to draft it, literally, and then we present it to the judge, and the judge will ask a few questions and then approves accordingly to that it's safe for the children and it's in the best interest and welfare of the child, and then an order's made. Usually we come out of the courtroom and all the parties are hugging one another. So those are good outcomes, you know. And you know, one of the key people that helps in those resolution is the person who is lawyer for the child. So the children are represented in the courtroom in family court matters, and that's appointed by the courts, family court coordinator, and that person would have some sort of many years of experience, you know, and have what they may be well versed in family law, and they represent the child's best interest.
I'm just like, I love happy endings. I really, really do. But look, is there any more, like, is there any advice that you can give to our families who have, you know, who have either are currently going through that separation, to avoid going to, you know, or getting to a stage? Is there something that, or something that you have seen that's common, that one thing that you can kind of, hey guys, try this out first?
You know, us Pacific Islanders, you know, us being Samoan, first thing that we like to do is call a family meeting. You know, and I think meeting creates good dialogue, that we can be respectful for one another and hear each other out. And usually when that happens, we may be able to find some sort of resolution. I encourage that to happen first, especially with parents or parties who've separated, or you know, the grandparents, you know, and the grandparents are saying, I'm really worried about my granddaughter in the care of their mother who's doing drugs and exposing my granddaughter. And if they could, and not more all times they can, but if a family can come together, do what we call a whānau hui, or whono, family whono, and do that. When you can't do that, usually that happens through oranga tamariki. Oranga tamariki has that avenue to do a whānau hui or a family whono. And that's about, you know, looking at all those issues.
Okay. Well, can you talk us through a little bit about that oranga tamariki? You know, with children, you know, we've seen it where children have been taken either at birth or even during school hours. How, I mean, the emotions are very, very high. What do you do in that situation? As a mum, I wouldn't know how to handle, and I don't know who to call on. How do you, or can you help us with some advice with that?
So I think the most important part is about information about oranga tamariki and their role. So oranga tamariki, they are the state who looks after welfare of children, if there's any protection concerns. So who can make a notification? Anyone can. You know, the school can, the doctors, the hospitals. So if a kid goes to the hospital and these injuries, if the doctor suggested there are non-accidental injuries, they can make a notification to oranga tamariki. They will get assessed immediately. Say for an scenario, a child in hospital, a baby who's come with a fractured arm, they do an x-ray and they find that there's historical fractures on the other arm and then on the other leg, which raises concerns. So they contact oranga tamariki, they will do the immediate investigation, they will make a call whether they're going to uplift this baby in hospital. So how they do it, they have the legal team file urgent without notice applications to the family court, and they will apply for a warrant and custody, interim custody. And then the parents will be served. So why would they do that and not tell the parents? Wouldn't the parents have the right to know before that happens? And the short answer is, when you give notice to the other or the parents, they will try and find a way to avoid the removal of a child. But the whole purpose of it is to ensure that this child is safe. And then you serve on the parents, and then they can have an opportunity to defend these proceedings, and that's when they come to see a family lawyer.
Yeah, because we've seen a lot on media about it, and you know, there's been some
Yeah, and
negative-
there's some discrepancies about the role of oranga tamariki. Have they, done everything before they execute a warrant? You know, there are questions and raised, and every whānau and every family is different. Some judges now, when they get an urgent application, they can deal with it in their chambers, but they can also order an urgent hearing, just to hear. They don't have to file documents, just to hear the whānau there, and they call it the Bickwick hearing, and they can just hear the whānau just give their versions of why they shouldn't remove this child. So there's always ways of trying to find some sort of good resolution.
Guys, if you are wondering, where can I contact Sal or where can I come see her? She is based here at the Pacific Hub at 9 Sharkey Street, Manukau. Make sure you call in or email her to make your booking first before you kind of pop in.
Just remember, we've got the details here of Timaloa Law Facebook page, which is here, and also the website details are on there. So if you need to ask any question, and we're not saying to call her at 1 a.m. when you're there's business hours that you need to make sure to get in contact during those business hours. But there are also other information if you need to seek help. Just before we wrap it up, I know that we've spoken a little bit about prevention and solution, which is probably number one priority. Can you just give us or our viewers direction on where to go and talk a little bit about the PLA, the Lawyer Association, the Pacifica?
Yes, so to our young viewers and our young people who are thinking of doing law, I really do encourage that you consider the career of doing law. I think law is a great opportunity, not just become a lawyer, traditional law, but law also opens opportunities to get into other professional areas. Did you know that, who was it? Nelson Mandela was a lawyer?
Oh. Yes, I did.
Did you know that Gandhi was a lawyer? You know, Michelle, Barack Obama's wife was a lawyer. Yes. So, I believe for Pacific, so we have a Pacific Law Association. It's based in Auckland, but it's national. This is also allowed for Pacific Law students. We had our first Pacific Island PLA, Pacific Law Association conference in 2019, and that was awesome. So I really encourage, if you want to do law, I think it's a great career. Helps our families to get to, put them
give back
ahead.
to the community. And maybe you one year could become the family lawyer of the year.
Just like Sal.
And Christy,
And Christy is here in the building also. But look, did you have that one verse or quote that helped you get through law school? Because I know being a lawyer isn't easy.
It's tough to get into.
Tough. And I know myself, I'm like sitting there going, oh my gosh, I love it. I'm listening to you, and the way that you contribute to our community to help is awesome. But we know that with an awesome job and a role comes the,
Yeah, I think it's commitment. I mean, at uni, I wasn't an A student at all. I did fail a few papers and repeated a few. I even was told by a law lecturer that I should reconsider my career path.
Well, shout out to that lecturer. Thank you now.
There's always, I really believe it was commitment, God's calling on me, and perseverance. I think we should grow a bit more resilience in life. It was hard work. It was, I worked at the courts for about 10 years before I did law. So I was in my late 20s, 29 when I did law school. So, I really attribute that to commitment. So any of you who are doing studies at the university, I suggest that, don't give up. If you failed a few papers and it's your dream to do law, whatever, medicine or anything, I think just keep going. Pull yourself up and keep going.
No, I really got to admire you, and I'm just so humbled by your honesty as well, because you know, sometimes I think that lawyers are all straight A students and never fail a paper. I know. You know what? You don't have to be a straight A student, and you don't have to pass every single paper, because you know, no one's perfect. Life isn't perfect. Like Sal said, you know, perseverance and commitment will get you to where you want to be. So if you are feeling a little bit down, or you know, wondering or thinking maybe, oh, I want to like study law, but it's too hard for me, just give it a go. And if someone tells you that you can't do it, you know, just remember that you're probably smiling at them in a few years' time, and you're gonna be like, well, look, I did it.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for being on the show today. It's been very, very interesting. Kudos to you for all the work you're doing for our community. And I'm talking about community as well. Tomorrow we are going to be heading over to see my friend and my chiropractor, Dr. Brad, tomorrow. Awesome. And that's going to be really cool. And yes, the word is out. One of his clients is Israel Adesanya, so the big man, the UFC champion. He is going to be there as well. So make sure that you tune in tomorrow, Blue Table Podcast at 4 p.m. here on Facebook. Like our page, share our page. We're also on YouTube now, so like, subscribe. And thank you again, Sal, for joining us here today on a Tuesday afternoon. Thank you. It's a little bit cold.
Honestly, Sal, I know our Pasifika women and just our youth so inspired by what you have shared today, your journey, and also our viewers for the information that you've been able to provide us, to help us. But it's about prevention and solution. So thank you, Whawhitai Lava. So really, really, really appreciate it, because we know your time is very, very valuable. So we really, really appreciate it. That's it from us here on Blue Table.
Thank you. Shout out to my mum who's watching. Thank you.
Hi, Mum. God bless you, Mum. Bye.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Squad, baby. Rex, J. Sands. Let's go. Oh, say I'm say you are complete to me, Agelio. By the way that you move and the way that you smile. Say, oh my Dorima, baby, you be giving your hand, I'll take you anywhere. You give me something that I never had. Cause you care, but about to me and the family. Say, why you waiting on me to talk to you? Yeah, I'ma listen what y'all say. Yeah, don't move out in the come here. Yeah, they on the layout, oh, dirty wine, girl, dirty wine. Yeah, say, tama in and not the bite, say.